Hey, welcome back to Two Super Guys Try Socks. I'm Dylan.
Vinny?
And we're going to take a look at a video or a company specifically. One, the reference for Michael Burry here, he is what I would consider one of the short kings. That sounds like he's short. Short
Yeah.
stock, all right, well, it is what it is. Anyways, this is more in relation to I think I found a company that is horribly, horribly overvalued, just like in the past when I was shorting this particular company. Now, people remember this. I did a lot of videos on Nikola. I said how much of a scam this is, how this is not going to work. I shorted it like 4 times. I made a pretty decent amount of money. I should have shown the likes here on this because they were not well-liked videos. We got some angry comments on these.
Oh. There's one guy that commented on like all the videos, just making his own pump up videos. It was pretty wild.
Yeah. We got some death threats.
Cool.
So anyways, obviously this sucks. People lost money on this, but I do think I found another company that is absolutely terribly overvalued. I think the time for a short is relatively soon. It is Lucid. Okay. Lucid is another electric car company. Now, I'm not saying the same thing as Nikola. It's not even close, to be clear. Nikola was just like Theranos level scam. This is not. But money-wise, it's a problem. So this chart is what happens when you have a lot of share offerings. This is bad. This is,
not a very healthy looking stock chart there.
No. This is a weekly chart going back a couple of years, and then this is where we are from beginning 2024 to now. So, the reason why I'm doing this is it's at this 200 moving average.
Okay.
All right.
It doesn't look like it respects it as much as some other companies do, though, for sure.
No, yeah, it doesn't. This is also a scarier short because Nikola was common sense. It's like, all right, well, they're scamming people, and we've already caught them, and for some reason they were still worth like $5 billion. So this is a scarier short for sure. I want to be very clear. This is not the same as Nikola at all. This is like engineering perfection. The hardware aspect of this car is unreal. They just set the Guinness Book of World Records for longest charge EV. Like, it is not the same. Just to be very clear, I'm not crapping on Lucid. For the Lucid fanboys out there, not doing that. You're good. It's just the money aspect is the problem. The pros, okay, the good things going for the company. Timothy Chalamet, I'm sure you know who that is.
I have no idea what that is. Never seen it.
Dune's amazing. That was frustrating. Okay. Dune's a great movie. Vinny's going to watch it this weekend to say sorry for that horrible miss. That's just common stock knowledge. It's just watching Dune. Anyways, Uber to invest $300 million in Lucid and deploy 20,000 vehicles over 6 years. I don't put a lot of stock in these. Nikola had one of these every 2 or 3 months, like a new thing. This company's going to invest, but until they get paid, I just don't care. It's just words. Same like with this this AMP2 plant, Saudi Arabia. It will produce 5,000 vehicles per year, but eventually 155K. This is earnings like stuff to make you feel good. Like eventually 155. Yeah. Like eventually we're gonna have general AI. They might as well just say that.
Yeah.
Let's start with the 5,000 first, maybe, because they've never produced that once in a single year ever. So now they have an agreement with Saudi Arabia to purchase 50,000 cars over 10 years and an option for another 50K, which sounds like another Uber scam up top. But the Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund owns 57.6% of this company.
Okay.
That's scary. They got a lot of cash.
They do. Yeah. Especially if they stop building that whole wall city we talked about in a different video. But a lot of money there to be offered in terms of buying those cars. And then as far as the Uber deal too, I mean, I guess this is Uber's way of competing with Waymo. I mean, I have more confidence in Waymo, to be honest with you, than I do in Uber Lucid kind of partnership, but it could work out.
I agree. But it is nerve-wracking going against Saudi Arabia. Now, that's specifically why I wouldn't go against Rivian, because Amazon has shown they will just fund things until it works. So I will not touch Rivian for a short. There's a couple of charts I made. I just want to show you guys so you can get the picture here. So we have our deliveries, revenue, market cap, GAP, gross margin, production, total current assets, and free cash flow. So just real quick, here is your deliveries versus production. Okay, so deliveries are increasing, but let's just look at this number, right? They're selling 2,500 cars a quarter. They're not selling a ton of cars. Okay, this is a $5 billion company. Their production is surpassing how many cars that they are actually selling, which is, I guess it's good, but you also want to sell more. Revenue is increasing. That's fantastic. Here's their total current assets. Now, Vinny, where do you think they did a share offering?
Ooh, on that particular chart,
Yeah,
I guess right there, the bump there would be the cash probably that came in from the share offering.
it is. It is just a bunch of cash from a share offering. So this is not what you think it is, and they already spent all of it in a quarter and more. So problem. More importantly, this is their margin. Okay, so they started off pretty bad, and now they're getting under negative 100%, but they're actually getting worse.
Yeah,
Which is not what you want to see. You want to see this consistently as you scale. You want this to consistently go towards, well, you want a positive in the first place. You don't want a negative.
eventually. Yeah.
But this is the opposite direction. This is not what you want.
Yeah.
That's a big problem.
Is that 1.8 billion in the most recent quarter there for free cash flow? Negative?
1.0 billion, just 1 billion.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Here's your free cash flow in thousands. Not good. They're spending more money. They're becoming less efficient.
Yeah. That bodes well towards long-term stability.
Yeah, it is not good. Let me get back to my other thing here. Okay, so I just want those charts in your mind. Okay, once again, it is a brilliant car. I'm not saying it isn't, but here you can see they offered 26.5 million shares. They did another one December 22. There's just and then more senior notes in April, 1.1 billion. They're getting a lot of cash. Okay.
I mean, that stock chart definitely jives with that, right? Because that's what you see when companies are having to go back there, dilute in order to continue funding their operations because they're losing money on their operating income.
Exactly.
Basis.
And this is what you love to see: quarterly shares outstanding.
Yeah. My share buybacking fanatic fanboy status does not enjoy that whatsoever. That chart is going the wrong direction for shares outstanding.
Here's where this gets really scary. All right. So how negative are they? All right. So I'm just going to read a couple things here, but let's just read high cost of revenue. Lucid continues to sell its Air sedans at a significant loss with a negative 105% gross margin. They did get that down to the 80s, but now it's back to over 100. Due to a tariff cost, not good. And the company still loses $328,000 for every vehicle it delivers. That's more than the car costs, just to be very clear. It's almost twice as much as some of their cars.
I mean, what that tells me is that buying this car is a fantastic deal, that you're getting way more technology than you probably deserve.
Absolutely. It is. I mean, the engineering aspect, this car, it is a pretty amazing car. It absolutely is. Now, look, due to combinations, high cost, limited free cash flow is negative 1.1 billion with a net cash burn of 830 million. They're still spending 275 million in R&D. They're trying to get their new Gravity SUV production ramp up. I don't think they should focus on multiple different models when you're losing 380 grand a car. It's a dream. I get it, but it's just a bad idea. Here's their cash on hand. They're now at the lowest level that they have been since their big money crunch and after COVID.
So at $1 billion or $800 million in free cash flow burn per quarter, and they're just under $3 billion there, meaning that they have to raise cash again within the next 3 quarters, effectively.
Within the next, my projection is it has to be under 4, 2 to 3 conservatively.
Yeah.
Unless they somehow get super profitable somehow. Now, I also like to go by people. I've never driven this car, so I like to go by people who have driven the car. Now, you can cherry pick, bad reviews anytime. So I try to do more realistic ones. But for instance, this guy has driven all 3 of them. The middle one is Lucid. The bottom one is Model 3. All you need to see is Model 3, the iPhone of EVs. It just works. It's a little boring. It's fine. Lucid, every single complaint is the same. Hardware, incredible. Software, utter trash. It's constantly glitchy. It has all these problems. Apparently, CarPlay. Imagine spending $200,000 for a car and just Apple CarPlay just won't work. So you just can't connect your phone.
Sounds
Like,
about right.
it's $200,000. Now, just
Yeah.
the software part of this. They have a ton of, there's a big EV charging issue, which I believe they actually might have just solved. But in terms of $200,000 for this, that's a big problem. Here's another one. Saying goodbye to my Lucid Air, the glitchiest, most fun car I've ever driven.
They're beautiful.
Right?
Yeah.
They are. They absolutely are. But guess what? I have a Bolt EUV. It cost me $28,000. I have not had one problem in 3 years. Not one single problem. No software glitches. Sure, this car will beat me in a race, but I could almost buy 10 EV Bolts for this price.
That's a lot.
I just don't think it's, you know. And then this is pretty much copy and pasted from every Reddit, right? It's like, I've had this for 6 months. Look, it's a fantastic car. All this shit sucks. It's just, there's a bunch of people trying to just say it's a lemon so they can get out of it. I am definitely going to short this. I'm trying to see when the best time for it to be shorted is. It should not be at this price. I do hope they do succeed. I don't hope they go and go into the ground like Nikola, because Nikola deserved it. They scammed people, all that stuff. I think if they can get this car like under control and maybe not $200,000, maybe like 50 or 40, it would be like a pretty amazing car. But the big bull argument for this is that Saudi Arabia backs them. Their plant in Saudi Arabia is supposed to be done soon, and they're going to be able to produce way more cars, right? And they're going to be able, but production costs money. That's something that Nikola did not understand. To build the truck, you also have to have all the materials to build the car. Mm-hmm. When they have this little cash on hand, you have to do a share offering, which will dilute shares. There's no other option.
Yeah.
So,
and if you're running a negative margin, then selling more vehicles is not going to help you.
Yeah. That doesn't even talk about magically fixing the margin, right? Yeah. That's just, you're just going to lose more money. So they need 2 or 3 times their market cap in cash to make this work, right? Mm-hmm. I think they're at about $5 billion. I'll have to double check, but it can't. It just can't work at this price. It just doesn't make any sense.
I need to know more about their product roadmap and what their plans are in terms of achieving a more affordable vehicle, if that's in their realm or what. Because if they're selling vehicles in this $200,000 range and they're having a negative operating revenue on that, like, what are they going to expect to do?
I probably should have mentioned this. Their range is like 70 to 250, but it's just like anything else. With 70, you get it dumbed down quite a bit. And no one seems to be going for that. Most of the people on Reddit reviews are saying that their $130,000, I forgot the name of it, was the best cost. But we're going into an environment with a possible recession. $130,000 car is still too much, and there's just too many cars at that price point. There's no great electric cars below 50, minus a couple of them. So once you get up to that really luxury price point, you can't have Apple CarPlay issues. You just can't. Yeah. Like you can't have all people being like, dude, engineering, wonderful, but I can't turn the monitor on. Like that's a problem. It's a $200,000 car.
Yeah, like completely agreed and understood. Like I said, I don't know what their aspirations are as far as like, actually becoming a profitable company. It doesn't make sense with their current my understanding of what their plans are.
The Saudi Arabia thing is going to be pretty huge that they're banking on. So they're making them be able to sell tens of thousands of cars to the Saudi Arabia government. They're banking on essentially their wallet. But yeah, I'm gonna short it. I don't think this is a good idea. I don't want them to go bankrupt though.
All right, fair enough.
All right, guys, let us know what you think. Please don't be mad at me again.